and I am back with another speed build. This is going to be the Bachelorette's Paradise. Now this is a build which has been very highly requested on my channel. For the past couple of weeks I've been getting a lot of requests to do a Bachelor pad or a Bachelorette pad. And I decided that I would do a Bachelorette pad because that is a series which I've been obsessed with recently, which Sims actually did. She is so good at doing LPs and honestly, it's so entertaining. I love it. I get in with all the characters and I actually get emotionally attached to Sims. If I was watching the real programme, which it's actually based off The Bachelorette, there is no way that I would be that attached to any of them, in fact. So it's just the way that she does it. It's absolutely amazing. If you haven't watched it yet, then please go and check it out because I thoroughly think that you'll enjoy it. So I'll leave her links below, and also if you did want to try the challenge out yourself, I'm going to leave her website links because I actually found the challenge off her website and I'm not going to try it out myself because I don't feel like doing it at the moment. I've got a lot of stuff on, but I think that if anybody else did, if you do want to try it for your own gameplay, then go and check it out because it looks like so much fun. But yeah, so this build is what I would imagine to be a perfect Bachelorette Paradise. Now, of course, you could have this in several different ways. It just depends on what you want to use it for. You could have this in the way that it is just for a singular Bachelorette who likes to bring people back and then dump them afterwards. It could potentially be used for a Black Widow, but I actually want to do a different house for that entirely because I have also got super inspired by another one of her most recent series. I seriously, I can't get enough of them. But yeah, so it could also be used for a house with maybe 8 Sims in, and you could actually fill it up to the max. You could have the Sims living in the basement if you did actually want to have a proper competition. Me personally, I think that what I would use it for, if I was to ever use this build, I would use it for a single Bachelorette who is just looking to bring people back, party, and then get rid of them. And that's what I would use it for. And this would be a perfect build to have in your game if you did want to do something like that. It could also be, I think, for maybe just a very modern couple, which would be like absolutely fine with the colour pink and black and the like the mix. I have no idea though. It could be used for so many different things. Maybe a modern Barbie house as well. It could be somewhere. But yeah, so what I was doing is I was making sure there was a lot of black on the build because I love this matte black colour. I just love it. I think that it looks really amazing in The Sims 4. I actually wish that we had a matte black paint colour, and I don't know why they didn't do it. I just feel like when I'm going through build mode, I just feel as if sometimes I see things that are just supposed to be finished, but they weren't. So some of the doors and things, it has certain colours one way, but then it won't have them the other way. So for instance, if you're looking at a suburban door, it will have a blue railing on the outside of it, and most of the other doors will have it both outside and inside. But some of the doors just don't match up, so you won't have the inside options, if that makes any sense to anybody. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to explain. So what I was also doing is I was experimenting with the windows. I wanted to have these industrial windows at this point, but they didn't actually go very well. I think that maybe if it was a little bit brighter and if I could have had those in a white colour, then it would have looked amazing, but I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't figure it out either. I also wanted to put an outdoor hot tub area on the top floor, and I actually did do that. So for the interior, you'll see that, and I have already done the interior. It's on the Sims 4 gallery if you want to go and have a quick look at it. But I did do it because I've had to pre-record all my videos, of course, because I'm going away. I've explained it in quite a few videos, but it just basically means that I think probably the next 10 to 15, even more videos than that, are all pre-recorded. I've been doing it for weeks. I've seriously been building up my videos for a lot of time. That's because I'm getting married though, and I'm really excited. I don't know whether I'll be married or not by the time you watch the video. I am not sure. It's actually April the 16th I'm getting married, so I don't know when I'll be sharing it, but yeah, that's that. What I was also doing though is I was putting some windows around, so I actually went with the spa day windows. They really complemented the build to the max. I loved them. They look so good. I love them, and I know that a lot of people did have mixed feelings about the spa day, and so did I actually. Now come to think of it, I really didn't like it at first. I was thinking this just isn't something that I'm going to use. Also because I'm actually trained in beauty therapy. It's actually one of the subjects that I did in college. I actually studied beauty therapy for 2 years before I decided that I wanted to go and do nannying. But for me, doing massages, facials, things like that, I don't know, whatever you can do in The Sims 4, it's something that I actually did at college and I didn't want to do by the end. But I'm one of these people that I'll just stick at something even if I don't want to do it thoroughly. And there were people that just kept dropping out. And I just kept thinking, well, you know, we are a year through it already. Why not just stick around for another year and actually get the qualification for it? And that's what I do. If there's something that I don't enjoy, I stick at it and I don't give up, because I am really passionate about not giving up. And I don't know, I think it's just because I think that I would much rather complete something that I don't enjoy than quitting halfway through and thinking, actually, I was so close. So yeah, I did. But I think Spa Day, in terms of that, it just wasn't something that I'd be interested in following through. Just everyday life of me at college, basically. But I did like the stuff that we got with it. It was a really interesting pack to get, and I hope that we get more interesting packs. Something that I'd actually love to see is a restaurant pack, and if you do have any ideas of packs, please let me know in the comments below, because even though it probably won't happen, it's still nice to know that people are very like-minded in the comment section, and I actually love talking about these ideas with you, because I can't believe how many incredibly creative people watch my channel and come up with the most amazing ideas just about everything. So yeah, let me know if you have any ideas for stuff packs, game packs, expansion packs, what you want to see on the game, then let me know, because I don't know, it's always fun to discuss and we might get it. We might find somebody in the comment section which can predict everything, because there's always one of those people that just knows. In fact, my mum is a little bit of one of those. I can't watch any films with her because she always says to me, actually, that person's going to end up with that person and that person's going to end up with that person. And it just happens to be right at the end. So I don't know whether she's read up on it or she just knows. I think it's just a matter of just knowing, because sometimes the plots haven't even been released yet and she's still good at it. But what I did was I put a car in at the front. I like to do this because even though we can't have cars, I like to give the impression that we can. And I actually think that it would be very similar to just having a normal car in The Sims 4. It would just work in the exact same way as if we were given them. I did put a little bit of landscaping around as well, not too much. I didn't actually want to go with my traditional style of landscaping. I've actually gone off those trees. I did actually used to use them a lot, but looking at the Sims 4 gallery now, they get used so much. And I think I will go back to them at some point, but at the moment, I am not feeling those trees. I go through really weird phases. And yeah, I was just filling it up. I thought about putting in some pink plants and trying to make that look a little bit unique. I probably overdid it in terms of landscaping, and I will definitely admit that. But I still think it looks good. I still like it by the end, and it's something interesting, so I was happy with how it was looking. I think as well, I did have a lot of fun with making sure that the structure was right. I wanted it to look as if it just wasn't balanced properly, and I think that it definitely gave that impression. One of the things that I did actually really like was when I went to do the interior of this build. I like the fact that you can see the furniture through the glass. I don't know, I love that look. And I think when I was doing the upstairs floor, because I did a section of the top where it is going to be a penthouse party area, and it's going to be so super fun if the Sims are up there just having a bit of a party. Yeah, I think it will work. I think it will. And I think as well, I was just trying to make sure that the top area was balanced. I don't know, I like seeing the door on builds. I struggle to have a build or make a build that you can't see the door. I don't know why this is. I just love it for Sims houses because the doors just look so cute and small. I just think that the doors need to be somewhere where they can be seen, and that's why it is so high up and visual in terms of that area. I think it's also going to look really good at night, so I'm hoping that when it does turn to night mode, it's going to look good. I think when I started to put the lights in as well and change the light colours, I was definitely happy with that. I also didn't explain that what I was also trying to do was make some water fountains and places that could be surrounded by rocks, black rocks, because I thought that it did give something to the build, and it does look a little bit modern, but I actually really like it. I think over the other side, that was the big one that I did, and I did actually put some multicoloured lights in, so the fountains are pink. I like that, so I hope you do as well. It's something different that I did there. I think at this point, what I was definitely thinking about is, I was thinking about what on earth was I going to do around the back of the build, because I always leave the back to last. I do, and I never plan it either. I actually think in terms of what I could have done with the back, it was rather disappointing. I've got to say, it probably wasn't my favourite back, but then again, it does have a hot tub in, and I do actually include 2 hot tubs in this build alone. So there could definitely be some good parties in here, and that could be a really interesting place to have it as well. So just in the garden there, it's just a little bit extra. The garden itself isn't going to be that big, and I didn't want it to be that big, because I also wanted it to be very, very low maintenance in the way that the plants wouldn't need anything. In fact, it would mainly just be a party area. I would actually imagine all the plants to probably be fake as well, just for decoration's sake, and I wouldn't imagine that the person that lives here would ever want to water the plants, because I don't think that they would be plant people. They would only be up for partying. So yeah, lots and lots of bamboo. I actually had fake bamboo in my old house and it looked terrible. It got to the point where I wasn't even maintaining the fake bamboo. So it got so much dust on it that I just had to throw it away at the end, and it was really odd because in Switzerland, you can't really get rid of stuff, or at least I found it very, very difficult to get rid of stuff in the particular place that I lived in. So I was always getting told off for things, and I had to get rid of a bamboo plant. I had nowhere to put it, there was no tip around me, and it was extremely difficult. So I had to sneak around with this bamboo plant under my arm, and it was humongous. It was as big as me, and I couldn't do it. I think what I ended up doing in the end was I actually put it outside our property, and I don't think that anybody saw me, but I actually just put a sign saying if anybody wants it, please take it, and I left it there for about a day. And what do you know, the agency rang us up and were going to charge us for it, and I think somebody took it at that moment, and I think that after that they couldn't really say anything. It was actually really lucky that we did get to leave the agency when we did, because they were a pretty bad agency, and of course you do get corrupt agencies sometimes. They were so bad though. In fact, we recently got a bill from them which was for a ridiculous amount of money, and anyway, we rang them up and it turned out they were trying to charge us after we left. By the way, this is like a year after. They tried to charge for the people that arrived after us. They wanted us to pay their heating bill for them, which was insane because it's ages ago and it's not our heating bill. But yes, anyway, this was when I was putting in the water fountains, etc., and I was just trying to make sure that there was some lights at the front. I wanted to brighten it up a little bit, so I put in some lights around it, and I think that it did give something to the build. I also think when I changed the colour of the lights, it looked amazing, or at least I think it did. I mean, everyone's going to have their own opinions of what you like and don't like, but for me, I think the lights really, really made it in this case, and I was definitely happy with how it was looking at this point. I was also thinking about the windows at the top. I just couldn't decide whether to have them or not. I also was thinking about whether to have a curved roof or a straight roof. I honestly can't remember how it turned up. Curved was definitely an option for me, but I don't think that I did in the end. I can't remember though. I was also changing the wallpaperings and making sure that that looked pretty nice, and I think at this point I was almost finished. I was just putting around the last bits and bobs to the lights because it was really important to do this. And if you're ever stuck on the things that you need to do and you're thinking about tips and things for future builds that you want to do, then I would definitely say never ever forget the lights if you can help it, because lights honestly make a build for me, and it just means that you can use it throughout the day, night, whenever, and it just works really well. Also, for a modern build, lights are pretty important, and that's just my personal opinion. I would feel as if a modern build without lights just wouldn't look accurate to me. But anyway, that is the end of the build, so I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you all part 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I will speak to you all soon.